Unmute. 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 There we are. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the BreakEFX podcast. We are on episode 10. We're on lucky number 10. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. It is my birthday. We're having the birthday special. Yeah. Woo. Wow, this is crazy. So again, thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, please press the like and subscribe button. It should be on one of these sides. I don't know which one, but press that stuff. And thank you for joining us. And man, I'm so honored. Let's do this.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. I'm so honored.
Welcome, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. And I'd like to also thank you for all the support in the last 9 episodes. Just such an amazing journey so far. Thank you to everyone who's participated, all of our interviewers, all of our interviewees, thank you, have been just super knowledgeable. They have been telling their side of the story, getting so many different perspectives on the roots of hip hop. And now we just got another piece of the puzzle that we're going to add right now. My man, his birthday. And he, boy, from BreakEFX crew. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I don't know. I'm like, this is just like crazy. You know, this is what we're doing right now. It's for my birthday, you know, it's like a podcast. I wouldn't have it any other way. We're in the new spot right now. If you don't know, like, we have these
place, we have a new training facility, and we wouldn't be able to do this, if that was the case. So, like, let's first and foremost give it up to Rick Cordova and the Cordova family. Yes, and Ricky Joe. Like, love you guys. Like, without you guys, this would not be possible. Like, for us to have a location in a home now. So, big up to them. Cheers to them. Cheers to guys. The Spot 2.0. Yes, a lot of things are going to happen here. It's going to be amazing. Yes, yes. All right. Let me shut that door a little bit. Yeah, we got the workshop here at the Spot. We got the black box. We got a movie theater. We can't wait to show you guys everything that's going down here. Yeah, we've been putting in a lot of work around here. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that have been going in the last 3 weeks. And it's just been cool to see the whole progression and evolution of this place come up. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll do a special live segment on that when it comes to a little bit of a soft opening. Yeah, excited, I'm so excited. Woo, tune in. Woo. It's hot in here. Hot. Oh man, yeah, let's go. Where we going? All right, start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Yeah. Okay, so excuse me, I'm gonna end up like looking down a little bit because I really want to do this right. I want to do it proper, and I really want to pay homage and respect to like my journey and the people that there's a lot of people who helped me along the way, inspired me along the way, and I really just want to make sure like we get it all out, man. That's so awesome. Yes. Yeah. So, I see the notes there. Yes. Hey, there is a list. There's a whole list of notes of just stuff and people that that I ran into, and it's just been a long journey. Honestly, I started when I was, I think, like 13 or 14 years old. Wow. Yeah. So straight out of like middle school, right? In middle school, like right when I got into middle school. Nice. But I want to talk about. I think this is really important for I don't know, people to maybe understand is like what was like my first hip hop like experience, like what turned me on, like not just like the dance, like the music. And I got to give it up to my cousin Frankie. Like when I was younger, like really younger, my mom took us on a trip to Chicago, and I remember on the his porch step he had this boombox, and the boombox with like the lights, so like when it was lighting up with the music, and it was LL Cool J's "I Need Love." Oh, that's a big number right there. Yeah. So and that was just like my first memory of just like the music and just like that whole like on the porch boombox vibe. Like it was before I even like saw dance. And I like that's what made me like love it, because I was just like it always just sticks in my head. I hear that song, and I think of my cousin Frankie. Shout out to him. Yes, cousin Frankie. That's awesome, man. So where did you guys start dancing? So when I started dancing, I was I was going to this thing called Friday Night Live. I don't know if you guys heard on Paulo's episode, he was talking about Friday Night Live. So there was this like team night that they had at Friday Night Live, and we'd go every Friday, and they had like a little room where they had the DJ and the lights, and like kids were dancing and stuff. And that's when I seen like hip hop dancers before. I had seen again on Paulo's episode, he talks about his friend TJ Tim Montoya. Like that was the first kid that I seen like dance, and he was just doing like hip hop steps, like the Running Man and like Cabbage Patch, and like just really just like it was really a lot of just like house party dancing. Yeah, house party dancing. Yeah. It was that era. And, he had his jeans tied and rolled up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just one or both, bro. Yeah, and it was even that era when it was like crisscross era. So there were people in like TLC, so he was like wearing like band-aids and shit like that, clothes backwards and shit. And I was just like, what the hell is this? This is so cool, So I had seen him do there, and then I just kept going there. I was practicing at home, and that one night that I had that again Lalo talks about, him and Art showed up at the Friday Night Live, and that was the first time I seen a windmill, bro. Like that was the first move I seen was Art windmilling, and then I think they're battling Firehouse. I can't remember, and then Lalo went in with the windmills, and it was just crazy, dude. And that's when I was like, and I don't even know if Lalo or Art remember this, but I went up to them and I was like, like where'd you learn how to do that? And they said Beach Street. They said watch Beach Street. So I was like, bet, so I got Beach Street. Yes. So I got Beach Street, and I started watching it, man. And then my mom's gonna laugh when she hears this. I used to like watch it, and I'd get cardboard, and I would take it out to the front lawn,
and it would always like move around the grass and shit. So I grabbed like nails and shit and tried to like pin it into the grass and shit. I'd be spinning downhill and shit, you know. Yeah, man. So that was my first experience with dance. It was really, I gotta give it up to Paulo, and it's crazy because he's gonna come back full circle later on in my story.
Oh wow, so cool. So because of Friday Night Live, where was that location again?
It was at the Westminster Rec Center. I forget this guy Joe. I just remember his name was Joe, and he did it every week. And they opened up like the racquetball court, the basketball court. They had a little room where they sold pizza for $1, dollar slice, and pops. You know, and people were able to drop the kids off at like 7 to like 10:30 or something like that. And the parents had to walk them in and check them in and stuff like that. So it was like really super safe. But it was just really super cool that we had a place to go, you know, like that.
That is super cool. Yeah.
Unheard of, bro.
Yeah, there needs to be places like that.
Definitely.
And then were you still 14 or was that after?
That was like 13 or 14. I remember because it had to be when I was 13 or 14 because I think they cut the limit off at 15. After that, after you turn 16, you couldn't go to Friday Night Live. It was just a teen night, you know. So they didn't want you to be able to drive that.
That's right.
Yeah, crazy, man. Yeah. So
Really cool, man. That's awesome. So you met Lalo and Art right there.
yeah.
Art.
Yes.
Okay.
Art.
Yeah, that's awesome. After that, where'd you go?
After that, man, this is so crazy. And I got VHS of this, and I really gotta like upload this stuff. You guys know I got like mad footage, and I gotta give it proof. But I met this lady, Paula Kaufman, okay? and she's in a lot of people's stories. This is DeAndre's story. She's in Troy's story. They know her. You know, she was like my 7th grade teacher at that one. I think she was teaching science or something. I can't remember what she was teaching, but she was my teacher. She had seen me dancing in the halls and stuff. And she was just like, would you want to teach the after school class? And I was like, what? Like, this is like unheard of. You know, I'm like a kid. You know, I'm a kid. And I'm like, you know, what do you mean, you know? So she's like, well, we have this after school program that was going in. At that moment, that District 50 was running the after school programs where they had like art classes. They just had multiple different classes for kids to take. And she was like, I would be there supervising it. And she's like, and I'll bring the boom box and play the music. She's like, and you just work with the kids and stuff. And I have footage of this. It's crazy. So we started an after school program, dude. I was a teenager, dude, and I was getting, they paid me. The District 50 paid me $10 a class to teach. And that was in 7th grade, bro.
Like, as soon as you were learning it, you were teaching it. That was awesome.
I was still learning it and I was teaching it. And I have the footage where they did 9 News came and did a special on me because they were like, this is the youngest guy teaching an after school program. And I got like a little reward and stuff, but it was crazy at that moment. Like, who was dancing with me was my brother. My brother Tommy was dancing with me. It was crazy. Yeah.
Tommy, what up?
Yes.
What up,
Tommy?
What?
I got that footage on to show you. He was doing coffee grind.
Great.
He did coffee grinders one way, coffee grinders the other way, really fast. He put his hand on one hand.
The Stilo.
Yeah, dude. We had a little routine, dude, where he'd get on his head and I'd grab his legs and spin him and he would drill and shit. You know, but yeah, that was like my first like dance buddy was my brother, dude.
That's awesome.
You know, because that's what I was teaching the class, so like he came to learn and stuff. So yeah, man, like that was crazy. And I did that actually for 7th grade, 8th grade, and then my freshman year of high school, I did it. And by the time freshman year in high school, there's 4 District 50 schools. I was doing after school program as a kid, teaching at every school once a week.
Okay. That adds up, $10 a class right there, right?
Got all the candy I wanted, boy. So yeah, man, huge shout out to Paula Kaufman. Yeah, I had to get that to Paula Kaufman. If not, like she wouldn't have started me. Like I would have never started my dance journey. You know,
Nice.
my teaching journey. You know, like I got pushed into a teaching position that I didn't ask for.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Just like sink or swim. I don't know.
Yeah. So you were doing the after school programs, and did you start meeting a lot of people there, or did you start connecting with other people in other like communities, or what was the next step from teaching those classes?
So through middle school and like early 9th grade, like at the same time there was like the dance thing going on. There was a lot of like violent stuff going on in schools. You know, so there was like a lot of gang activity. There was like this dude Bill Beta, you know, ended up getting killed by the cops. Like so, I was in a weird environment. You know, it was a real weird environment to have people like, you know, just even growing up in my situation. You know, like it was just really weird. Like not weird, but it was just it's almost normal. Like you can't say like that was an abnormal life. Like it was just a normal life for all of us to have struggles. You know what I'm saying? So like going through that stuff, like it was just hard to like want to dance and then like balance the two. You know, because I wanted to like be a kid and like just do shit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, dude, like at that age, you know, I'm 15, 16 years old, and I'm just like, you know, like getting ready to go to like party.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Yeah, you know, when you just have your first drink of alcohol, your first, you know, your first, shit, you know, so you know, I'm going through kid shit as well as like dance shit and positive shit. So, you know, freshman, like honestly, like I kind of just gave up on high school at that moment, you know, because I was just, bro, we straight up at that point. Because I was just like, yo, dude, like, oh, someone's saying the sound's all low. Can we bring it closer? A little bit. Let's squeeze in a little bit.
Come here, I know you.
Come here, I know you. Yeah. Thank you.
You want to get the light chat up?
Sorry,
Yeah.
hold on. Yeah, talk to us on the live chat. We're getting a little closer so that maybe you can hear us. We'll talk a little bit louder. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good.
Yeah, you can shut the fans off. We're gonna shut the fans off real quick. Sorry about that. So yeah, man, I was just going through like a weird period of time, you know, freshman. I just wasn't really feeling school. I just wanted to dance and like party and stuff. And then there was this place called Phase 3. It was like the first club that I have ever like known. Shut that one too. It was like the first club. It was like built like a block away from us. So Phase 3 was freaking crazy, dude. It was like a big ass fucking warehouse, and then it had like in the corner like the linoleum. So it was like a huge ass space, and then it was just like there was like this little tiny piece of linoleum, you know. So it was just kind of crazy, you know. It was just weird, but okay, better. Love you guys. Thank you, cousin Tim. Yes. So at that moment, my homeboy Grimace, I gotta give my homeboy Grimace like mad props. I seen you yesterday. We talked. We reunited. That like such a great time. My boy Grimace, he was running like security at this place, and with my boy Finch, he was around. Like rest in peace to my boy Finch. If you know my boy Finch, like he was the homie dude. Like he really showed a lot of love. He didn't dance or anything. He did a lot of graffiti and stuff. But he was the homie. We went through a lot of stuff, man. He just had a sad story. So like rest in peace to Finch, bro. He was my homie. But I met Grimace and then Finch, and Grimace was doing the security or whatever at the Phase 3. And like one night, like we're chilling, and this is like where I had met our scenario crew. Okay, so our scenario crew. A lot of people don't know about our scenario crew, but at that point, our scenario crew was a huge crew. Like honestly, the only crews that I had knew about that point were, you know, LOF, GWT, and our scenario. Those were the crews that I had heard of. But our scenario crew was the first crew that I had seen. Okay. And they had walked into this place called Phase 3, and it was Emilio Flex, Mad Love. That was like my first teacher was Flex, and Rage and Chunk. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss these guys. Rage and Chunk. They walked in. They actually pulled up in like an old Geo Tracker with the top down, like a red one, and like Al Capone was with them, dude. Al Capone was with them, and he was like kind of like leaning up top, and he had like the mesh gloves on and shit, dude. Like with the fingers cut off. Amazing. Yeah, so they rolled up into the place, dude, and like I remember they just like took over the floor, bro, and I was just like, who are these cats? You know what I'm saying? And it was my boy Flex, dude. I gotta show him something because I know he's watching, and he gave me this, and it's such an honor, bro, because you were my first teacher, bro. Like this man, like he used to take us and to teach us footwork. He would take 4 empty pop cans and put them in corners, and you would have to footwork in and out of them. You know they're light, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he'd make us like footwork in and out of them to build our technique and get lighter on our feet. But this is his shirt. He gave me off his own back. I gotta give love to the man because he showed me a lot, man. Like he took me to my first jam, which was B-Boy Summit. I don't even know, 3 or 4 or something like that in San Diego. He took me to my first jam. So love to him. He took me to Canada to meet the Boogie Brass before they even were like anything, you know, like trained with them, dude, like Easy Rock and all them in Asia. Like I got to meet them because of this guy, you know, because of Flex, you know, and my experience out with them, you know. Wow. He took me to my first B-Boy jam, dude, like B-Boy Summit. Like it was when Style Elements had battled Rocksteady Crew. Like I witnessed that shit, bro. That was my first B-Boy jam out of state, dude.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
miss that shit, bro. So yeah, that was I met Emilio and all them, and I actually got down with their crew. That was my first crew that I was ever in, was our scenario crew.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. So, that is such a great, like, only 2 or 3 years at the beginning of your dance career, right? Like,
Yeah, we're barely just getting started. Right?
Wow. Like, that's just a big push in the right direction, from teaching to, the experiences of that first jam. Man, what happened next?
Oh man, what happened next is I went to a few jams with our scenario crew, and then I had met Al Capone, and I was going to the Spot a lot at that point. So the Spot, if you know, like, and that's why we call this place the Spot 2.0. The Spot was just such a homey place for everyone. Like, I seen a lot of shit in there, man. Like b-boy wise, like some dope b-boys, man. And I really want to give a shout out to like, obviously my crew was killing it, but I want to give a shout out to Feud and Mad, bro, from LOF, man, because I really, like, if you watch me dance, I have like a lot of footwork and like style, and back then they had that shit, like they were style, like footwork heads, and I really looked up to them. Like Feud, like I seen him do some shit, man. Like he was the first person like I seen like really kill like footwork, and then like be able to do footwork good, and then still be able to drop a flare 90 like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, wow, he's well rounded, and Mad,
the other.
Yeah, and Mad was just sick, man. If you know Mad, like his footwork was unreal, dude. So yeah, man, I was at the Spot kicking in training with Al Capone, and there was a point where I ended up staying with Al Capone for a few months and training in his room. We'd go to his room and train. This Al, we train in your room, man. And then at that point, I had broke ties with our scenario and with Flex and them, and I was kicking with Capone a lot, and it was funny, man. This is a crazy story because you remember this Capone. This is
You remember?
This is the story in the beginning of END crew, and a lot of people don't know about END. Okay? So END is Energy Never Dies, Exposing New Dimensions. Okay, yeah. Me and Al Capone were sitting there all high one night because we were dumb and just smoked like quarter pounds every night or so. But we would blaze, and we were sitting there one night, we were watching a movie, and on the end of a movie where it's all the end.
Yeah.
It's all, that's it, G. That's it. And I was like, what's it? He's like, that's the name of our crew, the end. So I was just like, what? And I was down with them for a little bit, and I know that he had, got Raw down and some other people down. They were down, something like those Beyond Death guys. They were involved with Capone and like tricking and stuff like that. So they were involved that way. So I was like down with Capone. Like I helped, I was there when he started that shit. So it's like, it was crazy, man. And I did that for a little bit, man. And then at that point, when I was probably like 16, 17 years old or something like that, I was really heavy into the rave scene.
Yeah. I mean, that's where you found a lot of dancers back then, though, right?
Yeah, the raves.
Yeah,
at the raves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like an underground where the hip hop and new techno was like starting to kind of fuse together.
Yeah, man, they would have special guests. Like I seen Run DMC at a rave. You know what I'm saying? Dougie Fresh was at a rave before. So they kind of co-mixed the two, but they were really super underground. They were really, really like, we had to like call and get the checkpoint, go to the checkpoint to get the map to go to the place.
Yeah. And then you might even get a phone number after that to other places.
So it was really underground. So at that point in life, I was like, I was doing a lot of raving, a lot of raving. Me and my cousin Tim. Shout out to my cousin Tim because he's been there with me. He's been there with me since Friday Night Live. Like that's where me and him reunited as cousins again. Like like we didn't see each other like when we were growing up. And then it was just like one day we were both at Friday Night Live. He was like, "I'm your cousin."
What's up? What's up?
We cousins. Yeah, man. So I love because he was with me throughout that whole rave journey. Like going to raves, like there were ciphers there at the raves. Like that's where a lot of b-boys like went to dance, and there's poppers and wavers and like, what I'm saying? Like that was where it was because there wasn't really a lot of jams. You know what I'm saying? Jams weren't a thing. Like they just weren't.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's. It was unorganized back then. That's for the most. I mean, for the most.
They were mostly at like car shows.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like
or at clubs, that were not. Like, it wasn't really kid friendly. Like
Right.
Yeah. Man.
That is awesome. So in the rave scene, did you? Was there a time where you like were with the end, like battling other crews? Or
No, that was like short-lived. I wasn't really with them that long, and then I really got into the raving scene, and then my next journey was just like actually the rave scene, man. I really got into that, and that's when I had met Stretch, DJ Stretch.
Okay.
Yeah, Stretch, my boy Mecca, like he was a popper, and my homegirl Jenny, and at that point I had met Fate through like the rave scene. So like me and Fate were like kicking, like dude, he was pretty much living with us. Come on, tell him, like he was staying downstairs. He was living with us, you know. So like me and Fate were like, you know, we were just kind of like me and him fed off of each other, man. I got so much footage of me and Fate in basements just training, dude. Like when Fate had long hair with bangs and a handspin, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all he had, you know. Like that's my boy. Mad love to Fate, dude. I miss you, dude. Love you, bro. But me and him were just hitting up the rave scenes, dude. At that point, we had met. We were kicking with Stretch, and then we had met our boy Mecca, some poppers and stuff, and they had this crew called Aqua Boogie Crew, ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aqua Boogie Crew, bro. Like, yeah. So like, I rocked with them for a while, bro.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I rocked with them for like a while, dude. Like a few years at least. We were like rocking with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and more of an all styles crew, right? No one
All styles, because there was like I said, we had poppers and shit. I mean, we would go to the jams and like that was our thing, you know.
Yeah,
we were just at jams. Like,
oh man, that's cool.
or like our raves, not jams, raves.
Yeah.
We were just at raves, just tearing it up, you know, like on the weekends, you know. Sorry, Mom, I stole your car that one night to go to a rave. She was pissed.
Had to pick you up from the too, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, my mom. Yeah, I love my mom. She was always down. She knew my mom always. Me and her always had an open relationship. She knew what was going on, you know. So,
Yes.
But yeah, man. So I rocked with Aqua Boogie Crew, ABC, you know, for a while, man, for a minute, and I was really just the footage, man, is crazy, dude. Because when I post it, man, you guys are gonna be like, wow, that's crazy. Like I used to just practice head spins. That was it. Dude. That's it. I was like, I got head spins and a flare and some windmills, you know. So like that was like my vocabulary at that point.
Crowd pleasers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then it's crazy, dude, because we were like raving and stuff, and like there was this place called, and I gotta remember, okay, it's called Root on the Hill. Remember, there was like a hip hop store, so they sold like VHSs then and hip hop gear, tribal gear, and shit like that. But they also used to throw raves on the weekends in the basement right next door.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
right next door. Yes,
sir.
right next door,
It's
bro.
called the Underground.
The Underground.
Yeah.
On the hill in Boulder.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was
It
crazy.
was like where you can get like back tabs and stuff in Boulder, and like you get your magazines and that wasn't even DVDs back then.
No, it was VHSs back then, and they had some like pipes and shit in there, you know, like it was a dope little shop. But yeah, on the weekends they would throw like raves and shit that have DJs in there, just tearing it up, man. And this is where Lalo comes back around in my life, bro. Like, there was another story where we crossed paths on his episode. You could hear it where he was in the hospital, going in the hospital because he busted his knee, and I was leaving because I tore my ankle. Two B-boys switching on in the hospital. So yeah, and that's on his episode. So watch that one. That's a pretty funny story. But we're at the Ruin the Hill at Raven one time, and it was like a co-ed bathroom, I think, or something like that. We're just all chilling there, just like fucked up, bro. I mean, we're at a rave, you know what I'm saying? And it was Lalo and Jeff Jabs, bro.
Damn.
Yes, if you guys know Jeff Jabs, like rest in peace, Jeff Jabs. Like I brought actually something so you guys can kind of see, you know, my boy.
Yes, R.I.P.
Yes, R.I.P. to my boy Jabs. You know. Yes. Him and Lalo, man, they played a huge role in my life, man. Because at that point they were holding down GWT. So if you listen to Lalo's story, where he was at that point of recruiting, okay, so Lalo was at this point of recruiting people, and we're at this rave just fucked up, and Lalo's like, yo, bro, we need to get you down with GWT. You know, like I'm stacking this team. Let's go. We need you. And him and Jabs were just like right there, and I was just like, fuck it, this is it. They want me down with the legends, because at that point my whole career, like I said, I had rolled with our scenario, with Capone in the end, and then Aqua Boogie Crew. Like I've always just known of them and looked up to them. I was just like, damn, dude, look, that's GWT, bro.
Right.
Like, like that Arc, Scream, like they're legends to me, bro. Like legends, bro. Like straight up, man. My heats. Yes, dude. Scream, dude. Shout out to Scream, dude, because all day, that's my bro, dude. Yeah, man, they had asked me to be down, dude, and I was just like, yeah, let's roll, let's do this. And then that's the error, like, where everyone talks about, like, damn, these fools, like, we're taking fools out. Let's show them this picture. You haven't seen this picture. Big Dog showed this picture, but look at that old ass picture right there.
18.
Yeah, look at that squad. I mean,
Killers.
a bunch of killers right there. My bad. A bunch of killers right there. I mean, that that's and I want to give a shout out to them right now. Valo, Jabs, Dash, Cosmo, Ark, Ramon was with us around then. Ray was right there. Like, that was the GWT era, bro. Like we were fucking fools up, dude.
Yeah. Living legends. For sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Man. And that's just the iconic group right there. Like, you walk into a jam and you see just GWT in their own corner, not fucking with anyone. And you're just like, those are the hitters over there. Yeah.
That's where I learned like the battle mentality. Was from GWT because we weren't soft. I mean, honestly, like, and it's funny because people always be like, damn, them fools talk shit. Like them fools are assholes. But the thing I really want to stress to people is like, we talked more shit to each other than we did you guys.
For real.
Yeah.
That's just being real, like we're like, if you could take it from your homies, like anyone else talking shit to you ain't gonna phase you. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like the mentality that GWT always had, man. And we were just down, like, we'd battle each other, bro. Like, we'd front each other and like get at each other and like, talk shit to each other while we're battling and just really just
get under each other's skin.
And try not to be like, oh, that shit was whack, son. Oh, like, oh, you tap, boy, that's tap. Like, that mentality. So, man, with GWT, there's just so many stories, dude. Like, I could talk about. A lot of them have been told,
Yeah. I guess what would be your memorable or like few highlights? Yeah.
Few highlights.
Yeah.
Oh man, shit.
So I'll start with 13.
And shout out to Mom. Mom said Faye did live in the basement.
I love it, you did. He said, oh man. Man, honestly, there's so many memories I had with my brothers. Like, them motherfuckers, we push each other. But I think one of the memories that I loved the most was me and Ray had entered Illest in the Game. It was like one of the Illest in the Game. And who we battled? We battled Ruin and Frankie, Flav. And we had went to double tiebreaker with them, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a great feeling, that me and Ray, because we were both in our prime at that point, and to go into there and just to battle heads like that, and then for judges to be not know, whether who won that battle is it gives you validation that you're just as good as the people that you look up to.
Yeah,
right.
Give them a run for their money.
Give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
Bro. They ended up beating us, but we gave them a hell of a run. That really showed me the potential, dude, of what we were doing. It was like, okay, now we can't be afraid of nobody. So nobody.
And there was a point where you guys were kind of like the 2-on-2 partners in crime, where you guys were entering a lot of jams and if not smacking it, being in the finals, top 4 always.
Yeah, man. I just got so much footage of our journey, man. It's crazy. I think one of the other battles that really stuck out was the New Mexico jam, because that was this group of people that you see on the picture. We all went down to New Mexico, and that was when we won our first jam out of state as a crew. Yeah. So it was really, really special, that we went down there and we kicked ass as a team. We're like, damn, okay, we've been kicking ass in our own state, and let's go somewhere else. And it was our first out of state jam that we won as GWT. I think Little Caesar was the judge. But we won, dude. We went down there and whooped some ass, dude. And that was a proud moment because, like I said, we accomplished something together, out of state.
Yeah. So man. Oh. So after New Mexico, that probably set you guys with fire, and kind of started. What did that start?
Yeah, that started a lot, man. I mean, we just we rocked GWT for a long time, and at that point too, during GWT and when Ray was coming around, Ray was already teaching at Motion Underground. So that was when I started getting my foot into Motion Underground, because me and Ray were entering battles together. We were training together. I was going up to he was teaching classes, and I was going up to his classes and training on the side, and then waiting for him to get done so that we could use the floor and train some more. You know what I'm saying? So that was my transition with GWT, was my transition into Motion Underground. That's where we're at in my story so far, y'all.
How old were you around that time?
Probably like 19, 20 years old or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, just a young one.
Oh, just a little one. Yo, shout out Munchie and family.
Yeah, Munchie and family. Yeah,
Munchie and family, what's up?
Shout out! Oh, and shout out to my bestie
Soul
Dom.
Dre. Dom.
Yeah. Shout out to my bestie Dom. I love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Tins
Tin
on
Man,
fire.
what's up?
Tins.
What's
Man.
up, Tim, man?
Yes. Wow, dude. I mean, this is.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Such a journey so far.
Yeah, we're only like halfway through,
Wow,
bro.
that's so awesome, man.
Oh, and man, okay, since we got a little bit of time because we are killing it right now, let me show you something. So when we're gonna transition into Motion Underground, okay? So like with BreakEFX, like we killed it, we did our thing, and that was when I had met Ken Jimenez. Shout out to Kenny, like straight up, like I my teaching and all that shit. Like I wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for fucking Kenny, okay? Like straight up, being real, like Kenny was my mentor. He's the one who like put knowledge to me onto the game, into teaching. You know, like he's the one who gave me an opportunity and was like, come dance, come be on this team, come train. Like if it wasn't for Motion Underground, there's a lot of shit that wouldn't have happened.
This is that connector.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's connect.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's just connect it all, man. So
Awesome.
I had met Kenny, dude, and like this is the beginning of my
And we hear how Ray, was in his episode where he was teaching a lot with them, and then he introduced you to Kenny, and you started teaching along, or you were just part of the performance crew at the beginning, right?
I was just kind of just hanging out and just training, and then like the performance team, Kenny would use us for like the breakers would come in. You guys are the breaker part. Hey, 5, 6, 7 transition. B-boys, do your thing.
Yeah.
So like he started pulling me in slowly like that, and then he had given me, and this is crazy because you guys are gonna remember this is gonna tie into us right now, and then you'll tie into later. Watch, okay? So that was when Kenny had given me and Ray a Saturday power move class, and then that's when. If you guys remember, Sonia had brought you guys into one of the Saturdays. Yeah, that's that's when I had met you guys as the Motion. But yeah, that was the Motion days. That was my first class, was teaching the Saturday class with Ray, is where we split up the class. It was a power move class. B Money used to come take our power move class, dude. Dude.
Shout out to Sonia for bringing us to power move class.
Yeah. Sonia, I love you.
Yes. Shout out to Sonia, seriously. But yeah, that was B Money. We used to take power move class with her, bro.
Wow. Shout out. R.I.P. to B Money.
Yeah, R.I.P. to B Money, dude.
Yeah.
And he comes back later on in our story too.
Yeah.
Everyone just comes full circle in our lives, dude. It's crazy.
Everyone just does some cameo and then dips out.
And I'm back. Yeah, so Motion Underground, I had met Kenny, and then this is where I had met Eppie, and I had met Rico, and then Troy along the way, and I had met these people, these mentors, because these people, Eppie and Rico and Troy, and I had met Summer during that part. Like, these people were all mentors to me because they already had like dance experience as dancers, not like street dancers. And you guys all know, like, there's a difference between. Oh shit! You're good.
Are you on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good. Shout out to Rico.
Yo,
Make a
Rico.
cameo. Come in here. No, hey.
The man with the plan.
Hey,
It's the man right here.
Yeah, shout out to Rick, man. Like at the beginning of the show, I told you we wouldn't have this home if it wasn't for this man right here. So
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where was I?
Oh, so we were right at Motion. We were talking about the mentors.
The mentors, yeah. So Eppie and then they, were around, and I remember Troy and Eppie had this talk with me because I felt like I didn't want to step on Ray's toes because he was the breaking teacher. You know what I'm saying? And I remember they both had these conversations with me separately about like, no, there's room for all of us. Like Kenny was teaching a hip hop class, Eppie was teaching a hip hop class, Troy was teaching a hip hop class. Why couldn't there be multiple B-way teachers, breaking teachers? Because and I just felt like it wasn't my place. And my first, actual like my own class that I had got was at Michelle Latimer's Dance Academy down in like Lone Tree. That Eppie had got me that job.
Yeah. Eppie.
I love you,
I
Eppie.
love you, Eppie. She plays a big part in all this, as you guys already know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, she got me my first gig. Troy, shout out to Troy, dude. Like I love you, Troy. Like he really he gave me
The Phoenix.
he gave me the Phoenix, maybe the Mantis.
Mantis.
Yes. He gave me the confidence to be a teacher. I was like, nah, maybe you can do this. You know, like let's go. Come on, you know. And at that point, City Dance had opened. And when we were working out with, you know, I was on a team called EOM, Elements of Motion, with Kenny and like Rico and all them, and KO. Shout out to KO because I was dancing with KO at that point.
KO.
Man, it was just like a group of guys that were just all really good at what they did. Misha was on there, you know, like it was heads, you know.
Yeah.
It was some actual real heads that you know were really good, and it was a performance team. So I rolled with Motion and did that a lot, man. And then we actually did this. Like I want to show this because a lot of people, like, if you heard of the show called Toys, we did this show called Toys with Ray and them, and I was a ninja in it. Yeah, no, it's the actual like program from the show. So pamphlet. So man, I'll check this out. Some of y'all are gonna be like, "What? You got the pamphlet?" My mom saved this stuff, so shout out to my mom. We did the show right there. We did the show for a few weeks. We were selling it out. It was dope, man. It was a hip hop show, and that's one thing that I learned from KJ. Yeah, check that out. One thing I really learned from KJ, and one thing that inspired me, and it was a saying that we always had, dude. That they always said was like, and I don't know where it came from, but it was pretty much street to stage.
Oh, wow.
Street to stage, you know, is they got, you know, it's telling us, yo, dude, you can take your street, this street dance and put it on stage. Wow. You know, from street to stage was just a saying. It was a thing that was just like, yo, like that's what we were doing, was street to stage.
Yeah,
you know,
it's such a new concept back then because hip hop wasn't really in the studio. It was just starting to be normalized in studios.
Yeah. It was crazy, man, and I was blessed actually with Kenny. I got to reiterate, Kenny like really gave me a huge opportunity because at that point I was able to take any class that I wanted, you know, and I was taking full advantage of that shit. Honestly, like I took ballet classes, I took modern classes, you know, I took the hip hop classes that the guys don't want to take, you know, like I took all that shit, you know, the locking, the popping. I was in Rico's class, I was in Troy's class all the time, I was taking Kenny's class. I sucked ass, bro. I sucked. I was whack, dude, but I stuck with it because I was just like, yo, I can do more.
Nice.
You know, I could do more than this. You know, like I could be more than a b-boy, dude. Like, and that attitude came because during the Motion Underground days, that's when I had met Gary Kendall. There, and when rest in peace to G, man. Straight up, like G is just as big as the influence as Kenny was. G was just that big of an influence to me. Hold up, I gotta go grab it.
Yes.
You already know.
Happy dance.
Yeah, a little happy dance, yo.
Yo, shout out to my bro Mario for drawing this. But yeah, this is a drawing of G that we have up in the studio right next to where we play the music, where you put your music on right there so you can see him and just get inspired, you know?
Yes.
So if you know G fam, baby, all day.
You know.
All day. Yes.
Yeah.
G fan.
Yeah.
Yes. Such a major role and influence.
Such a major role, man. And I mean, let's get into that because you guys know that he played a huge part in BreakEFX. You know, we're getting there, you know. So when the whole like me taking classes and stuff was because Gary was teaching the hip hop festival at Motion Underground, where Kitty would have guest artists come in and they would do a workshop for the week and then a performance at the end of the week with the class. Yeah, it was a summer like intensive type thing, and I was sitting on the side of Gary's, and it was what song was that? It was a ludicrous song where he's like, wave the white flag. It's like $5 million pad, like something like that, you know, like. And I kept learning on the side, but I was sitting on my ass, and then G was like, "Come learn this," you know. Nice. And then G was such a kind-hearted person, like, because I was like way behind, you know, like I sucked, and he was just like, "You could do this." And that whole week, like, he spent his lunches working with me on it. Like, I would go smoke after with him, we'd go get bopped. You know what I'm saying? And we would be in his room where he was staying and like move the bed and just like move things. And he'd be like, "Come on, let's go get over it." He really gave me that confidence to learn choreo, dude. Like I wouldn't have like had that confidence if it wasn't for Gary, you know, because before then I was just coming in as the B-boy. Come in, 5, 6, 7, 8, B-boy. You know, it was never like, come in and learn the hip hop, you know, like it was just never that. And Gary like really made me believe that I could do it. And then, you know, after that, that's when I started taking the classes and doing like all the workshops and like any master class I was in the back sucking, trying to learn.
But he expanded your horizons, you know. It was it just wasn't tunnel vision anymore. That's awesome.
Street to stage, dude. And then we did a lot of shows with, when Gary was Gary actually had moved here and he was teaching for Motion Underground and for Irina, and he was teaching at a couple places. And during that time, we had did this show called Ink Spot with Kenny, and Gary had did some of it too. And it was just such a crazy experience to have both Kenny and G in the same room together. The energy, you know what I'm saying? Two masters of their crafts, like learning from them. And we had come up with the Ink Spot, and Ink Spot was like a really dope show. I gotta talk about Ink Spot because people don't do shows like this anymore. Kenny had grabbed a white box, and he painted it white, and he put us in all different colors. Like we had these little spandex suits. I wouldn't wear it now because damn, I'm overweight, but but we had these spandex suits and we're all different colors. So it was like the box was just like the board to paint on, and we were just shapes and stuff like that, you know. So it was a piece like that really was just like modern and really like kind of different. And then there was just so many stuff, you know, like during that time we had Kenny had his acting classes. I took like a year and a half of acting classes that Kenny had provided from Maya. I gotta give a shout out to Maya. Yeah, like she was our acting coach, you know. So we took acting to really like be theatrical, lift up your head, and understand like visuals and face and everything. She had us doing weird. Yeah, she had us doing weird stuff. Yeah, man. It was really awkward and uncomfortable. But I'm grateful for that experience because like again at that time I had Gary, Kenny, and then we were taking these acting classes. And I was just like I'm being fed in a whole other way besides just b-boying, you know.
I didn't even know you were an actor.
I'm an actor, y'all. Yeah, I be acting the food. Speaking of that,
cheers to that.
Yeah, man, that was that journey, man.
Yeah. So no, go ahead.
I'll wrap it up with the G experience, and then we can move on. G at that point, he was doing this show called Monster Shop Open, and this experience was just so great to me because I would have never seen the other side of the world or know that that's like a possibility as a dancer if it wasn't for Gary. You know, like he took me to China. Like I spent like 2.5, 3 weeks in China or something like that. Like in Shanghai, like performing. Like we're performing 3 times a day. Like these shows, man. You gotta check this out. I found this. I have a different one, but I'll show you guys. Look.
It's in Chinese.
Look, this was like the flyer.
This flyer, right?
Yeah, I have that flyer. But look, and I'm gonna show y'all in a second. But this was the flyer, the actual of the event out in China where they had a bunch of different performers, as you could see, and it was out in a park. But yeah, this is probably like one of my greatest memories ever, like that I've ever had in my life. You know, is that like we got paid to go dance in China and treated like kings. You know.
Yeah.
Like I was tripping. I was like, damn, this is really like,
Real life.
this is possible.
That's awesome.
This is possible, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So that was my G experience, man. Like, I would have never seen the other side of the world if it wasn't for him, man. So thank you, G. I know you're listening. Thank you, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Gotta love, those two especially, like you said, just being able to come up as a dancer and have that touched by both Kenny and G, man. That's just, you were just in that right chair, right time, ready to go again. And what happened when you came back from China?
When I came back from China, man, honestly, let's just keep it real, let's just be honest with a lot of things. So, like when we came back, at that point, me and Ray were like co-directing the breaking team, which was Chris and Cam and Luke and Brandon, and Hannah, and then like from City Dance, like we were like co-teaching and stuff, and we had came back, dude. And honestly, we were gone for so long because before China or after China, I can't remember. No, it was before China. We already did a little tour in California of state fairs. So we were gone for like we're gone. We were gone. And we had left this situation at home of a breaking team that Kenny was covering. And at that point, I remember I got the phone call, and he was like, you know, like, I need someone to come back. I need some one of you guys got to come back. One of you guys got to handle this shit. One of you guys got to be responsible for this team. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go home. You know, I got my car. Ari had met me in Vegas because I was in California, and I drove my ass home to take care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? To take care of the troop. And then at that point, that was when, you know, like a lot of people were like leaving Motion at that point. You know, like Ray had left at that point, and you know, there's just people just leaving. You know,
Was that when Troy, Rico, and
this is where we're getting there.
Yeah.
In the yard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah.
we're getting there. So then I came back and I was working with these kids, and you know, we're like, I was still involved with Motion and still EOM and stuff, and that was what I was doing. And at the same time, man, this is the BreakEFX era, you know? Like this is where BreakEFX really started, and why it started and how it started. Okay, me, Tyler, Herb, and Krista, because we were all dancing already on the performance team at Motion.
Yeah.
But we all had lived together. We moved in together. We were like a group of dancers. Let's move in together, you know. So we lived in Boulder. We were like roomies. Like the house was amazing. Shout out to Herb. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Krista. Like you guys were like the dopest roommates. We had so much fun. Like it's just a group of dancers, dude. We had a dance floor with a hole in the middle.
Oh, the real world.
The real world.
Dance edition.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a beer pong table that was,
The infamous beer pong table.
If you know about the infamous beer pong table, you know.
You just know.
You just know. It was wild. Yeah. So, yeah, man. This is where the birthplace of BreakEFX is. Like me and Tyler, STS, like straight up. If me and Tyler are like the creators of the name BreakEFX. Founders. I didn't come up with that name on my own. Like it wasn't my idea purely. It was 50% Tyler Simpson's idea. And I'm gonna give it up. Like that's the fucking honest truth. Okay, is we were sitting in the basement getting high, and we were like, now, and the reason why. Okay, let's take it just one step back. The reason why we had started BreakEFX is because we were choreographing, and we choreographed this section, and we brought it to be presented, and you know, to the troupe, the Motion troupe, and was like, yo, we want to do this section. You know, like we had our own section, and just to be real, like we were denied that section. We were like, oh no, we're not going to use that. And me and Tyler had actually spent like 2 days coming up with this dope fucking section. You know, like crossing our feet, threading each other, going up to a handstand and threading. Like it wasn't the greatest. It was a little sloppy. And I probably understand why he didn't want to use it, but as dancers, we were really happy that we got a chance to choreograph, and we didn't get the chance to actually use it, you know?
Right.
So we were sad about that. Honestly, we were real sad about that. I was sad about that. I was like, fuck, dude, we just spent all this time coming up with this choreography, and now it's not even just going to be used. So I was like, we got to still use that shit. And then we're just in the basement, like I said, and we were like, break some. I was like, because we're going to break. We got to make this a breaking crew, you know? Like, this is going to be a crew. And the idea of it was like, again, taking street to stage, taking some, because we had Chris and Hannah and, you know, Cam and Luke and Brandon at that point that, you know, and Charlie was around. I'm looking at my list, so I don't skip anybody. But they were all around as students in that part, you know, and like they were getting good. I mean, they were going to jams, tearing fools up. You guys know, like, Chris was smoking fools, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Rufio. We all thought they were
Rufio.
older.
Yeah, you got.
Because we all thought they were older. Older than us too.
Seemed like it.
Yeah, dude. And we had these kids, and then so I was just like, no, let's grab these kids, and we'll do our own thing, you know, like we'll start this little breaking crew, and then we're sitting there, and you know, trying to come up with the name. And this is funny because if you know, like you know, then you know. Okay, so like the original name of BreakEFX is BreakEFX, but AFFECTS. Okay, like effects, like we wanted to affect people, like I'm gonna dance to that affect you. Can you feel it in your hearts?
I can't affect you. affected me, not infected, but
Like it affected you emotionally,
Yeah.
you know, like it affected you, and that's what our original way of spelling it was. It was like long ass. We even made sweaters, and it was a Dash. Shout out to Dash because he did our original first
Lettering
of it,
Yeah,
and we got it printed onto our sweaters, these
Dash
sweaters. So shout out to Dash because he did our original BreakEFX logo. Dude, it was crazy. But we went to a performance, and they're reading our shirts, and they didn't read like the program, and it was long AFX ECTS, you know, with break in front of it and like graffiti. So they thought it said Breakfast Crew. So we were like, we're not the Breakfast Crew, you know, like what the hell, like.
breakfast
I was like, you know, so we gotta make this a little bit better, you know, like we gotta make this like, you know, workable so people ain't just mistaken. So then that's when we added the EFX. We were gonna put FX, but I was just like, yeah, that's kind of lame, you know. And then we just wanted to, so this is the birth of actual BreakEFX, man. Yeah, STS Styler, man, he played a big part in it.
wow, that man, shout out to Styler. You guys definitely, you know, started that journey for all of us, and you know, it didn't start there. You know, that's kind of halfway through the junction right there. After you know, you guys didn't get that section, what happened?
Like I said, we recruited the kids. We made a crew. We made the BreakEFX crew, and we were rehearsing and training at Motion. And we did this piece. And I don't know where to find the footage, but we're actually in the blue sweaters and white pants. We all got white dickies, and we did that section. We did a whole piece. We added it on, and we performed it at a Motion Underground show. Like that was the first performance of BreakEFX was at a Motion Underground show. Cam, if you're watching, like if you have the footage, let me know so we can post it, because that's like the first BreakEFX performance. You remember the blue sweaters, long ass letters, white dickies. We thought we were hard. But yeah, that was our first performance, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then the original team was, you know, I gotta get this right, was Chris, Cam, Brandon, Hannah, Charlie, Paige, myself, and Tyler.
Yeah. And then after you guys, you know, recruited, performance-wise, that was the first performance. Where'd you guys go from there?
Oh, BreakEFX?
Yeah.
Man, oh God. I don't know, man. We started just like you said, recruiting at that point, and at that point, like there was a lot of performances going on, and we were like performance heavy, and that was the whole goal of BreakEFX was, again, like, you know, because I had learned from G was like that you could be more than a b-boy, you know. It was like really like doing choreography and just trying other things and mingle, you know, mixing it up. But when we started, we were strictly like breaking crew, a lot of breaking choreography. Let me show you our first. After the sweater, this is our actual first shirt that we did. We had our own screen press that Cam and Sam had. So yeah, this is our original shirt. We had the sweats that went with it. The song stolen from me. I want it back.
If you're watching.
But yeah, that's the original BreakEFX shirt. Like that's the original one, man. My boy Lucky tried to buy it from me earlier, and I said nope. Yeah, for real, he tried to buy it from me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, man. I mean, and this is the start of the BreakEFX journey, man. And we had like those people already, so we were doing like a lot of performances, like everywhere. We were just like performing. And at that point, they had Verve. This is the first year of Verve. Okay, first year of Verve. And we heard about it. And that was when we entered, and that was when we built what section we did. We did the Mama Said Knock You Out section, Mama Said Knock You Out section. And then we had the Transformer section, because we had built the Transformer, the human Transformer. If you remember the human Transformer, we did that shit, yo. Like we stacked the person on it, then he walked on two other people. It was like a real thing. And that was first time like we had like, we won. We won Verve, and we did it with like breaking and hip hop choreography mixed, and no other crew was doing that shit. Like they were trying to break, but you guys know, like if you're not a breaking crew and you're trying to do breaking, you end up just doing like simple shit, 6-step, and someone comes in and you have your breaker, you know. Like we were full on like footwork and fast together, freezing together, flaring together, power moving together. Like we were like together, you know. That was our point. And you guys know, like we ran a strict like regimen when it came to training, you know. Like we just didn't come in and train, dude. We came in and trained together. Like we stretched together, we worked out together, and we were doing wall sits. Someone falls off the wall, handstand, we start all over, minute handstands. You know BreakEFX minute handstands. If you were there, like that was the challenge, you know. 30, 45, 30s were just a thing, you know. Like we were just, we were training as Spartans. That's why we were always just like.
Yeah, and that movie just came out.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of our slogans for sure. It was just, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original year of BreakEFX birth was 2006.
Yeah.
So 2006 is the original year that BreakEFX was born, and that was a long time ago. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Wow, you know.
That is,
Yeah, you know, and then we're just tearing it up. We're doing the jams and the performances, though, you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I came in 2007, 2008, and you guys were at Katrina's. But you guys weren't only just the original members, but then you guys were like 20 plus deep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because they had did the 2 seasons of Verve, and then at that point they had did Colorado's Best Dance Crew. You guys don't remember Colorado's Best Dance Crew? Stapleton, and that was when we had this team where Ray was on the team. Like we had everyone with us, you know, like everyone, dude. I mean, there's the picture right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show this little collage. This was like we were deep, y'all. Like we were hella deep. You know, this is, you know, we already had, you know, won a few jams. We went to Colorado's Best Dance Crew. Colorado's Best Dance Crew was an experience. Who was there? Who seen that shit?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about it. What'd you see?
Man.
What'd you see?
Colorado's Best Dance Crew was probably the first time I saw hip hop choreography with breaking at a high caliber.
I was like, these are my friends.
Yeah.
These are my friends.
We've always heard of and it was me and Mills driving up and
to
Katrina's, and we were we were kind of just watching from the side, like,
I want to be there.
Yeah, this is like this. I want to be on this team because this is like where we saw also, like you mentioned, that breaking could be more than just breaking. It could be a well organized machine, and that's what you guys were.
Yeah.
Transformers, that whole section proved it. But, unheard of. But and for me, seeing that 4-week competition and seeing how you guys were battling Motion Underground, and really, I think they were the only other team that had any kind of chance against your guys' squad.
Yeah.
But that was kind of when I didn't even really know of hip hop choreography. I was more just a street b-boy, kind of just coming up with the kids at the youth center. And Mill's right by my side helping me with those kiddos.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Time does fly, man. It feels like Colorado's Best Dance Crew was so long ago.
Yeah, it really is. It was 10 years ago, but at least, And I think that's the first time we saw the violin piece too, and that and the Gary piece too.
I heard that song a million times.
Yeah, that was probably and still is probably one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
you can go find that on YouTube if you look up Colorado's Best Dance Crew BreakEFX. You can find our winning piece at the very end. It's like a long piece, but it's a little fucked up footage, but you can really see where we started to click as a team and really, like you said, start hitting on all cylinders. That was when we had the G piece, the violin piece. We did that one. That was the creation of it. Yeah, man. That was the I think after that was where we really started taking a stride of taking over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the takeover. I would really like to a lot of people maybe not understand that we were, I think at this point we were really caught up in a lot of stuff, it was so fast paced moving, you know what I'm saying, compared to how we are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference you guys know is and I hope everyone will understand, is that we were living in the moment. We were back then, we were totally living in the moment. It was such a ride, such a high. We're going like this, that we never stopped to think evaluate situations and stuff like that. And that was when we took BreakEFX serious and was like, all right, cool. Now we need to be in business. We need a business, So that was when Harry got on board and Cam really started taking control of the business side, where we were wow, let's be more than just a fucking street crew, we're already doing it. We're dancing more than like that. So that was when we really started taking the business side over, because we were doing the dance scene stuff, like the battles and performances and stuff like that. So we're just no, this is it, business. We need to be smart. And that's one thing that I really learned from Kenny and Gary is like, I watched all the things they did right, and I also watched all the things they did wrong. I really tried to like learn from those experiences so that when we did BreakEFX, like I would make the best decision. Every time we made a decision, I would be like, what would Gary do? What would Kenny do? You know, like what would they do?
Both on your shoulders.
Both on my shoulders, you know, guiding me. And they're really like played a huge part in it, you know. So like, yeah, we got the business going, we got Ari going and Cam, and they were handling a lot of the business, coming up with logos, websites, like, you know, owning the name, owning the logo, like just really taking the step forward to be professional.
Be a brand name.
Be a brand name.
Yeah.
That was when Cam and Sam had started BDAY Streetwear.
Yes.
Really, I mean, shout out to Cam. Like, huge shout out to Cam because at a young age he became a young entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think he owned
And I don't think he like realized that.
Yeah,
Like, dude, he was like 18 years old at high school, and he owned BreakEFX and BDAY Streetwear, you know, and was like had a job and like, you know, just got out of high school. Like he was doing it, bro. Like, thank you, Cam. Like,
I love you, Cam.
Yeah, love you,
Love
dude.
you,
Like, we
Cam.
would have survived without you, dude. Like, you play a huge part, dude. Like, he got thrown into that position. We just thrown him in, bro. He didn't ask for that shit. We were like, yeah, you handle the bank account. You do this, you know, like, is it cool? Can we order a limo?
Let me check my palm pilot.
Yeah, no, I love that kid. No, he took on a lot of work, man. And man, we were just doing a lot of stuff as BreakEFX, man. Like, you guys know, dude. Like, we were just doing it, traveling, teaching everywhere. You know, like again, like our regiment is really what made us. You know, like I was pushing you guys. I was an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're mean.
You were mean. Yeah, I was mean, dude.
In a good way, though.
Yeah, no. I can't thank you enough for that, though. You know, because
For real.
you know you had higher expectations for everyone in the room, and you seen bigger potential for everyone in the room.
This dude taught me how to handstand.
Yeah. And some people, you know, may be frustrated by it, but that critical and just that vision that you had for us all put us, you know, strides way further than anyone else at the time.
Yeah.
And you know, it was amazing to walk into that, you know, and see that it was already just working machine. Like everyone had a part, you know, it was like walking into like class all over again, but a whole new type of class where it wasn't just you're an AP student versus you know just taking
You know
basic
you were
math.
gonna learn something.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. You guys know it's like you had to earn your right to be in those sections. You know, it was like I'll be like, nah, you don't got it today. Sorry, try again next week.
I don't know how many times that happened to me.
Hey, you don't got that. Go over there in the corner and keep working on that shit.
Herb, go with Toby.
Yeah, Herb, go with Toby. No, that's just how we worked, bro. We were really just hard on each other and really just we had a point to prove. And like one thing that I think that I really want to take pride in, man, is that one thing I always did is I sat back and I still do this with us is like I write out what our weaknesses are, what our strengths are, you know, and back then we really attacked it. And then you guys could attest this, and the scene could attest for BreakEFX doing this, is we started out a breaking crew, choreography crew, but by the time we already had our third or fourth fucking verb, like breaking sections were like this inside that piece. That last piece, if you go watch, what's the last verb that we won?
2018.
No, not 18.
No, or not
2011.
2011, the one that you guys were with Jake and them.
Yes.
20, yeah, Jesse. So if you go watch the verb piece, BreakEFX, 2011, you watch that piece, like we at that point had become like a hip hop choreo crew, and not so much breaking. You know, like we were really strong, and that's because again I had taken the pride on getting our weaknesses because we were whack when we started at hip hop, and then all of a sudden it was like. That was what we were good at.
That's all we
knew. That's all we knew.
The best.
The best. You know. Yeah, we got about like 15 minutes left. Let's run through some
routine.
No, we're gonna run through a routine. Trust me. But cheers,
Cheers. Yes.
I love y'all. Everyone tuning in on YouTube. Thank you. I just went on there. There's a bunch of comments. I love everyone for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with us. Much love. Thank you to my family. Shout outs are coming at the end, but man, let's go through some like memorable BreakEFX moments.
Yeah.
Man. Well, you guys tell me one, man. I could name a bunch, but I know two memorable moments. But I want to see if you guys maybe feel the same way.
Man,
I got three.
I think
Pick one, and we're gonna talk
I'm gonna
about it.
pick one. Bale.
Bale.
Bale is probably.
Bale is definitely was one
Yeah.
of my. Let's talk Bale, man.
Yeah.
Like that experience in Bale. You could go again on our BreakEFX page, and you can see that there's a video. I think it's still on that one. The Bale is like shortcut. But Bale, man, like Bale was the first time that we had put on a. It wasn't our first time. It was actually our second time because one of the other times.
Of
The
course,
first time.
yeah.
We'll talk about that. But Bale, we had actually, it was a full-on production show. It was like, what, 2 hours? Hour and a half show that we had put together with a band. Okay? Music, everything. Live.
Smash Syndicate.
Yeah, Smash Syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Props to you, Jesse, Tyson. Like, mad love to you guys. Like, it was our first time collaborating with a real live band. You know, like we were pushing ourselves to like different levels. Like, we just didn't want to just press play on music. You know, at that point, we were like really trying to elevate the dance and the performance, and we had teamed up with Smash Syndicate, and it was just crazy, bro. That show was just wild. It was like choreography from beginning to end, dude.
Yeah. Oh man, and that was probably one of the most memorable moments because it was just such a collaboration from the rehearsals with live bands. We'd have to be in a room with 20 plus people, scripts on the wall. Yeah, just that's when everything was already well. We were well tuned. We were well tuned. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
I think I got two more other moments, but I think one of my proudest moments of us as a team and myself is Slang and Joy.
Slang and Joy.
Slang and Joy. If you remember Slang and Joy,
iconic.
Let's show you some flyers.
Yes, I seen Tins was all. He's all. You got all the memorabilia. He's like, he said you're a museum. I love you, Tins. But yeah, this was Slang and Joy. We did a full-on production show. If you know, you hear Dan say it all the time. Slang and Joy. This was it right here. BreakEFX. That was right there. The people that were involved with it. The names of the pieces. Yeah, man, Slang and Joy was amazing, dude. That was a show that we had put together. We had video involved with it. Everything involved, man. It was a full-on production, dude. It was crazy. Did you download it? Are we gonna upload it soon?
We will have content soon.
We'll have the Slang and Joy uploaded at some point. But it was such a great show because we did a throwback piece where we had so much material at that point that we had to like cut sections, and it was like, we can only do 8 counts of that section. We got to move on to the next, you know? Right. So the throwback piece, what other piece? The Sholo. Shout out to my boy Sho, because he was like our power head back then, you know? Like we would, yeah, dude. Like we were like, we need you to do a solo. And he was like, how about a Sholo? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, props to Sho. He was our power head back then, you know? And then middle school musical with Chris. Chris totally killed it. You got to watch that shit. 10th floor, again, 10th floor. If you watch Mikey's episode, like 10th floor, them fools are funny as hell. We had to add a piece in that. And then we had our Dance to Live friends and our 5280 fan, which was Street Side Dance in there with us. And then we did the G piece, and then my favorite piece, which is like the superhero piece. If you've seen the superhero piece, that shit was like so like. It's iconic. We put him in a bubble suit. I was in spandex with a sombrero. It's gold. We're gonna upload that on our page so you guys can see that and have some laughs. It's seriously some funny shit. But yeah, Slang and Joy was a proud moment because we sold out both nights. We did a huge production for it, and then we did a huge promotion for it. And I was proud because we did it ourselves. You know, like we did our show ourselves. You know, like this is a great moment. We started out with just an idea of like being a crew just who wanted to put some choreography together. And then here we are, you know, a couple of years down the road, like we're throwing our own production, our own show. You know what I'm saying? Like
independent artists.
You know, we didn't need nobody else. We didn't need no help from anybody else. We just did it ourselves, you know, and that was like a super huge proud moment for me. So Slang and Joy was like a highlight of BreakEFX for me, like one of the highlights.
Yeah, I'd say Slang and Joy was probably one of the diamonds in the rough. Like, yeah.
Before we get to the ABDC, is there any other ones that you guys could think of? I want to ABDC is going to transition into like where we're at now and stuff. So,
you know,
is there anything else before?
I think you nailed it with the 2011 Verb, because that was our third. We weren't able to compete in one of the Verbs. They actually took us out of the competition and said that we couldn't compete anymore.
You gotta showcase.
Got to showcase. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's Denver Dance Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best, yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I'd say those
That
were
was
the
real.
super highlights for sure.
Yeah, let's transition. We got about 12 minutes left or so. Man, so let's talk about ABDC.
Yeah.
ABDC, as everyone knows, that was like a huge highlight of BreakEFX. You know, like we were on America's Best Dance Crew. I really want to be honest about this journey. You know, because there's a lot of talk where people are just like, "Oh, you guys were on America's Best Dance Crew," but I mean, let's talk about that journey because it played a huge part in what happened after.
Yeah.
You know, it really did. Like it was as much as great of experience as it was just as evenly as shitty as experience as it was. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, let's just be real, and I'm gonna be real so that like young dancers, if you're watching this, you could be aware of how, if you want to be on TV and on those type of shows, how they work and how things work, and just I want to be brutally honest. You know, like it was a great experience being on TV. Like, dope, dude. Meeting Mario Lopez, who's like you're bigger than.
Those dimples.
He's a beautiful man.
He's a beautiful man. Those dimples, I thought I could just put my elbow fully in it. They're so big.
Like, God damn.
Yeah, boy.
Climbing
You know, and it was cool. And me, no Omarion, you know, like Omarion, dude, he's like Dre size. Yeah, like straight up, dude. Like
Marion. The backflip.
Get the rain.
But we had auditioned one year. We had drove out to California and auditioned out there in LA for the season 4. We had auditioned for, and we had taken the team that you've seen on America's Best Dance Crew. That was the team that auditioned the first year. Okay, we didn't make it past there. Like we didn't make it past auditions. And then the next year, they held auditions in one of their cities. The auditions was in Denver. So they held the auditions. They got a hold of us. They got a hold of Eppie and was like, "Yo, we want you guys to be in the audition process and whatnot." And it's crazy. I was telling this story to someone earlier, and they had no idea. They thought it was totally the opposite way around. But at that point, when we did the audition, Chris was in Norway. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Chris was in Norway. I don't even think we had. I forget who we had. It was Cam, Show, it was Mikey. So we had everyone, but Mikey had taken place of Chris. Okay, so Mikey did the original audition that got us on the show. Mikey is the one who did the audition with us. When we got to the show, they said that you can have minors in there, so we had to replace Mikey with Chris. But a lot of people and I've heard this and I've heard people say this shit, so I'm just gonna nip this shit in the butt. Okay. It's like I've heard people say, "Oh, you know, if it wasn't for Chris, you guys wouldn't have got on that show." Well, Chris didn't get us on that show. Mikey got us on that show. Okay, like I'm gonna be fucking straight up. Like Mikey got us in that audition. He was the one who did the air chair in the air forever while Show hopped one hand across. Like he could balance like that. We had them being able to do that, balancing together one arm on, you know, and dropping and shit. You know, like that original audition was fucking flawless, bro. Like that's when we came up with the touch section on the chairs, like. You know, that crew was sick, dude. But yeah, Mikey, shout out to Mikey, dude, because Mikey's the one who
Luis.
He put that original work in to get us onto the show, and it sucks that he wasn't able to do that, you know, and be on the show with us and ride with us, you know. So yeah, man, we ended up getting on the show, and the whole experience was like I said, it's like you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then you see the situation where they put you in a hotel, you can't leave unless you go grocery shopping, which they got a show for you too, and they have you doing 3 rehearsals a day. You know, that you're just their bitch. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Can't prison.
Yeah, we came prison, and we had to go. We went. It was funny though. We snuck out one night, me and Tyler, and Eppie picked us up so we go smoke some weed and shit. You know,
Can't tame us.
yeah, can't tame us. No, baby, I still got that in my blood. You know, so yeah, dude, I mean, it was just a crazy experience. And then during like, it was like a day or two before the actual show, they were running rehearsals on stage.
Yeah.
And we had this crazy flip where Chris, there was Cam, two of us were throwing Cam in the air, and he was doing this super laid back flip, bro, like in the air. And he came down and he fucked his knee up. Right. Okay, so he fucked his knee up. He's pretty much done for. We're ordering these acupuncturists and like special doctors to come look at his knee. We ordered the special brace, and producers find out that we had done these things. That people had came to work on him and see him, and they had got mad at us because we didn't let them know that the acupuncturist was coming or the doctor was coming, so that they could record it and put it on TV.
Sob story.
Yeah, they wanted a sob story. And I was like, fuck that shit. No, my boy's hurt. Like, I'm fucking cameras. Like, I don't give a shit about that shit. And it was just the whole ABDC experience. We knew it was going to be a bad experience when we left because we were fighting contracts like this big. We had a lawyer look at it. Arian, and we're, like, don't sign shit without getting a lawyer, y'all. Like, just don't sell your soul. Like, don't. They wanted our logo. They wanted our logo. There was somewhere in there where they wanted our logo for their rights. So our BreakEFX logo right there, that BreakEFX logo, that's our shit, like we own that shit, so like we didn't want to give that logo up, so we already were in their bad graces, already because we weren't cooperating with what they wanted. Love you, Rick.
Love you,
bro.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Yes.
You guys have a good night. God bless you guys.
God bless
you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. But yeah, man, the whole experience was just kind of just crazy, dude. It was just like, like we were just,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eppie. Happy birthday to you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Love you.
I love it.
Just wanted to get in here real quick.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Oh man, that's crazy.
Boy, got you
Yeah.
this shit.
I love my cousin, dude. That's my cousin Tim. I was talking about you. Oh my god, dude. I'm emotional right now, dude.
Cry. Walk to the studio.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is crazy.
I love you guys. Rock it up, brother.
Yes,
You guys
rock
later.
it up. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I'm emotional. Let's hang out. Yeah, hang out. Going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on this journey, man. So, damn, dude, that was dope.
Yeah. Perfect time.
Surprise.
We're talking about, just ABDC and just how it was a crazy situation. It wasn't the best situation, like there was just, it wasn't great, like it was great, but it wasn't great. We ended up having to fight our way off, through the battle or whatever. We didn't end up making it past the next thing. And there was just a lot of a drama, because we felt like we should have made it. Obviously, Tabitha and Napoleon, the choreographers of the show, were super pissed at the producers. And then we go back and look at the contract, and it clearly states, and I don't care, this has been so long ago, I know I can get in trouble for this shit, I don't give a fuck, honestly, I'm always gonna say it's Philippines, and it's also in the America's Got Talent, because also you guys had auditioned later on for that too, but it's also in their contract that producers can overturn America's vote at any given moment.
Yeah.
So, I'm spilling the beans, I don't care, that's just what it is, that's just how it works. It's
Reality
fake TV, it's reality TV. Facts, and that was it. We came back home, and honestly, that whole situation fucked me up bad. It really did. This is where I just I lost it. I was greedy. I was like, well, fuck that. We're on the show. I came back and I was like, we don't dance for free. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. I mean, let's just be fucking real. I'm gonna be super real, dude, because that's what this is about. Is I lost myself, bro. I really lost myself. I was a shitty person, and I was doing it for the wrong reasons at that point. Where I was just doing it for money and shit, and exposure and stuff, and it was just bad, dude. I was just a bad person, dude. And I got into some trouble and some shit, and BreakEFX just went like this, bro. It went like this. It just fizzled. It fizzled, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And during that time, I was just a fucked up person. And I want to share this because I think it's really super important.
That's your story, bro. Yeah. And it's important. You're right.
I just remember, oh shit, hold on. This is we're gonna go into right now. I just remember my mom sat me down and she's like, I love you because you're my son, but I hate who you are. And that shit just tore me.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't see her little babes anymore.
She see me being an asshole.
Yeah.
She see me being an asshole, dude, and she like checked me, you know. And at that point, I really went to like some deep soul searching and like some seen a therapist, sat in a men's group, and like really like figured out what my triggers were, and my cognitive thinking process, and just distorted thinkings that I've had my whole life, and just like really just like dug deep on who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like for 4 fucking years, dude. Like, just hashed at it, man. And then after that, man, like I kind of lost love for dance, and I had a girlfriend. And you guys remember this? The VTM had thrown a jam, and I was like, "This is my first jam, like coming back after all that stuff." And I like VTM had thrown a jam, and I had a girlfriend, and honestly, dude, like I was like done with dance, dude. Like me and this girl were trying to like have a kid, like we were trying like to have a family, and it just didn't happen. And this is where you guys come into play, dude. Yeah. And I'm like so happy, like you 3 are here, dude, because the journey that we're on right now, these last 3 or 4 years, is because of you guys right here. Like I was done with dance. Like I was really done with dance. You 3 brought me back. Like you guys wanted more. You guys were like, "Yo, dude, I just don't want to train. I want to do choreography. I want to get back into what BreakEFX was. I want to get back into routines, and I want to do performances and shit like that." And if it wasn't for you guys, dude, like our journey that we're on now, all this wouldn't even happen, bro. If it wasn't for you guys, because it was dead. That shit was dead, and you guys brought it back, dude. You guys brought me back. You guys inspired me to dance again, and we went on a hell of a journey. Like just you guys know right now. I mean, these last 3 years, dude, we've reevaluated ourselves and how we handled the past. And I think, remember how earlier I was talking about like the old BreakEFX, we were like in the moment and just going. And I think we've really settled down, and we think about what we're doing. We talk to each other. I think our relationship now with each other as a crew is so much deeper than it was then. We're able to call each other out. We've all cried with each other, been mad at each other, pissed at each other, because that's what fucking family does, is they fight, and they agree to disagree, and they just do that, In the last 3 years, we've really done the right thing, because we didn't go after, we're not going after fame. We're not going after money. Everything we've done has been just giving back to the community. We've thrown, jams these last few years, and you guys know, like we've given it all to everyone, like this is for them. This is for the community, like it's about giving back for us right now. Right now, we're about community. It's not about us. It's about you guys. It's about all of you, is working with you, is doing it, and I like these last 3 years, dude, I want to show this is shout out to Kevin. Kevin, you.
Foco Flavor.
Yeah, Foco Flavor right there. I want to give him a shout out because we were throwing, we're just doing a lot of work in the community and giving back, and we didn't ask nothing for it, but there was just some recognition right there for the last 3 years that we've been doing the right thing. We've had the right mind state. We're grinding, we're working, we're doing something right, and it may not be in the way that we've done it before. We're just doing it different now, like I told you guys when we came back, man, we have a blueprint. We're just upgrading that blueprint and making it better, and doing it with the same theory of BreakEFX was started, but just in a different way with more heart and like more organization, and just really like we step back and really think about what our next move is and what are the consequences of that next move.
Yeah, and doing it the right way.
For sure, bro. Like, yeah.
And that's even sometimes I'd like to thank you for this as well. It's just keeping us all on track and making sure that we are doing it the right way, because I've even had times where I'm like money hungry or wanted more when it's not about that, or evaluating the situation that maybe a certain community doesn't have it. We just do it for free, and that's something that it takes stepping back and seeing that perspective, and it's not all about money. It's really about our community and building, and it's not about fame anymore. It's about making the future, and these young ones come up, and
these young ones, man, it's what it's about. It's about these kids living through, giving them the best we can, the knowledge so that they could take it and run. You know what I'm saying? Like dude, we got like a crazy group of kids right now. You got your nephews. We got Jaden, we got my nephews Boogie and them, and Elijah. Like they're just like we got the future, and it's for them, and we got a home for them now. You know what I'm saying? Like, And if we wouldn't have worked hard, you guys wouldn't have brought me back. Like I wouldn't have been so motivated to even get to this point where we have, where we're blessed with, the Cordovas asking us to help them out with the studio. Like that's just crazy. Now we're in a great position, to help other people and give back to the community and do it the right way, man. Like that's what it's all about right now. It's just doing it the right way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are almost out of time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the upcoming events next weekend and also a little bit about the Spot 2.0.
Yeah, let's talk about so the Spot 2.0. Like I said, we're in the next few weeks. You guys are gonna see like a lot of footage coming out. We're gonna end up opening our social media accounts. Yeah, it's just a journey we're being patient with. We're not open to the public right now. This is really just kind of private training. Classes are real private with our family members only. But it is a place, where dancers can come and train, like just hit us up, like hit us up. We're going to have some nights going on of certain training and stuff. A lot of people already have come through here. If you haven't seen the footage on Facebook, like the battles here the other night were intense. People are hungry for it, people are hungry for it. Yeah, so the Spot 2.0, there's going to be a lot of information coming everyone's way. It's going to be amazing. Like, hit us up, get involved. We're going to get everyone involved. And if I haven't hit you up, trust me, I'm going to hit you up like soon. And then next weekend's events, like let's give it up to Alex, man. Alex,
White boy.
Yeah, dude, you're making it.
Everyone over at the block.
Bro, you got big cojones, bro. Like, straight up. The block is throwing since this COVID incident has happened and everyone's been shut down. Everyone knows that jams have not been a thing, There's not been a thing. And next weekend is the first live jam happening in Boulder. So look up the block party. Alex, you're courageous. We're with you 100%. They have safety protocols in place. If you don't feel comfortable going, we're covering the whole weekend live streaming. 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, the 5th and 6th. It's gonna be crazy. Like we're going live. It's gonna be wild. So if you can't make it to the jam, tune in next week. We're gonna be live. I think it's for like 16 hours or something like that. We're gonna go live, so you can just join us any part during the days. And
get some popcorn.
It's gonna be wild. But yeah, there's jams going on. We are actually hosting at the first time ever at the block party our own breaking battle at the block party. Because if you guys know, it's always been 5-on-5 all styles, 3-on-3 kids all styles, and now there is the category for B-boy B-girl 1-on-1. We're gonna see who the baddest motherfucker is. Like straight up, bring the heat. And if you can't be there and you're dope, then
Bring the heat.
bring the heat.
Send us a video of you
Bring the heat.
If you'd like to enter our jam, you can find the event page on searching Facebook Square Roots at the block party.
Square Roots, yep. Nice. I got a list of shout outs I got to get out real quick.
Absolutely.
Shout them out.
I gotta get my shout outs out real quick, hey, because like these are people who like have come across my life, and I made a list. Like it's pretty long, but I'm just gonna go. Shout out to my mom. I love you. Like my mom and my grandma were like have been like huge supporters. My grandma paid for my first trip to the summit. Like she paid for my plane ticket. She believed me. So I love you, grandma. Rest in peace. Like shout out to my mom and grandma. Yeah, they're a huge part. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my bro Tommy. Like my first battle of little friends. Like we're fucking
battle
I'm telling you, bro. Let me try to show you the footage. Shout out to my sister Nikki, my sister Ash, Tip, my niece Mackenzie, all my nieces and nephews, Julian. Like I got
Baby Julian.
I got 17 nieces and nephews. Like there's like a whole tribe. I love all of you. You guys are. I love you all. Thank you. My cousin Tim, he's on my list. Like my cousin Tim, come in here. Tim, join us out. Join us when we get out. When we close out.
We
Come on.
need your cameo real
I need
quick.
you in here. Yeah. So my cousin Tim. No, get in here, bro. Come on, bro. Get in. Get in. Yo, you guys know I talked about him earlier. Fucking huge a part of my life. So thank you, cuz love you. Yeah, love you. Shout out to my other cousin Sasha, his sister, and her family. Like throughout everything, and throughout the troubles, she was always super supportive and like there, just showing love always. Shout out to my auntie Mona. Like I wouldn't have survived all my shit if it wasn't for you. Like you held me down. You really did. So shout out to my auntie Mona, my cousin Michelle, my cousin Johnny, my cousin Brianne, my cousin Des. Like we gotta get this hair fixed, girl. Like it's shout out to Ari. Like Ari, like I love you. Like none of all this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for you. Like you play a huge role in BreakEFX ever getting off the ground and professionally. We couldn't have done it without you. So thank you, Ari. My homeboy Wayne, like when I went through my shit, you know, when I was going through my, you know, my treatment stuff and my therapy, like he was right there rocking with me. Like he was there with me, you know. So I gotta give a shout out to him. My therapist, Ken Berryhill, like that man changed me. He challenged me. He made me fucking realize that I you know, I had bad qualities about myself that needed to be fixed, and he made me see them, you know. Shout out to Tommy Tafoya. He was like one of the people who gave me a first chance at a job. Really just like, he gave me a shot, man. A lot of people weren't believing in me at that point. He gave me a shot. So shout out to him. Let's see where I'm at. Shout out to Dom, my bestie. Like, I love you, Dom. Like, girl, yeah.
Congrats on the baby.
Yeah, congrats on the baby. Yes, for sure. To Gary Kendall, shout out to Gary Kendall, rest in peace.
G-Money.
Yeah, G-Money. My GWT brothers, Scream, Lalo, Ray, Dash, Faye, Cosmo, Ark. I love you guys, man. I wouldn't, dude, you already know. GWT all day right there. It's tatted for life, baby. You already know. So huge shout out to them. Shout out to Batch and Fahrenheit 75, meeting the Godfather, like, and being down with him. Like, bro, thank you. Appreciate you. Shout out to my boy Lucky. He was here earlier, dude, and we were just like talking. And you're a dope kid, man. I can't wait for you to dance and get involved with what we're doing here. Shout out to Jaden and Vanessa. Like, I want to give a shout out to Jaden and Vanessa. Shout out to Vanessa because she's stuck through us through all the shit these last few years. You know, like we didn't have a home. You know, we were training down, you know, in Denver and then to Longmont, and then COVID happened and we weren't even training. I was going to, you know, at that point we were Zooming, and then, you know, like she just really stuck by our side and believed in us. And I mean, look at the results. You know, that kid's amazing. You know, he's gonna help lead and mold our kids because he's that good. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. So
There needs to be more moms like you.
Yeah, needs to be more moms like you.
Yes.
Seriously, you kill it. You rock. And yeah, rest in peace to my boy Jabs, dude. Like Jabs.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I love that guy, dude. Man, I miss him. And that's. I mean, if I missed anyone, I apologize. That's it. That was a long woo.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Birthday special.
And such a dope list, such foundation right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's show one more thing, dude, because I think Colorado would have loved. I forgot one more memorabilia, the memory thing. But this was a shirt from back then, man. So I mad love to all crews, the community. But if you know this shirt, right here, with all the crew names from back then, you watch. We'll do it like movie style.
Credit. Sorry. On the
Yeah, man, that's it, dude. Thank you guys for joining me on my birthday special. Like, we got my journey out, our journey, BreakEFX. There's a lot more podcasts coming. We got the Queens coming up next month.
Ooh, ladies.
Yeah,
Ladies will be in the
Man,
house.
it's Queen and Lord month, dude, because then we got Fiends.
Yes.
Lords of Finesse, dude. He's gonna be joining us, dude. Like,
Hello, Web.
you guys already know, dude. They play the piece in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, they play a huge part. So, yeah, we got a lot of podcasts coming up. A lot of stuff coming up. And just stay tuned, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us, like, and sticking with us this long. I appreciate y'all. Let's see if anyone's in the chat real quick, if there was anything.
Yeah. Chat it up. Come on.
Yeah, my boy Tins is all over
Love
it.
you, Tins. Thank you for tuning
Tins,
in.
love you, bro.
Being so active on the channel.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else you'd like to say before we close it out for the night?
Nah, man, just peace to everyone. Thank you guys for everyone who's a part of my life right now. Like, if you're a part of my life and a friend, and like, you're really important to me and you're in my life for a reason, you know, like, yeah, man, I love you. I love everyone. The scene, keep thriving, keep pushing. B-boys, believe that you could be more than just B-boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that I always believed is like, man, you can do more than what you're really capable of, you know?
Yeah.
You really can, man. You can tap into other elements and, man, let's just keep pushing. I know the scene feels like it's kind of dead and whatnot, but it's not, man. If you really love hip hop, you're gonna still keep doing that shit for the heart, for the soul. Underground, man. We are back underground, dude, and that's it, dude. Like, it's okay. You know, this is gonna show them who has the passion for this shit. You know, who loves this shit. You know, and we're all rocking for the same reasons because we love it, man.
Love.
Yeah,
Love.
we love that shit, bro. So. Yeah, man, I don't know. Anybody else got anything else? I'm ready to like have some more drinks. Dude.
Respect each other.
Respect each other. Yeah.
Everyone stay safe.
Yeah.
Love
Shout
you.
out to Ricky Joe, man.
Ricky
giving us a
Flo.
home. The world's crashing around us, bro,
Yeah.
and it's crazy, dude, that we have a home where we could be at peace and in love
Safe.
and enjoy. It's safe and enjoy what we're doing. So
It's our bunker.
yes, it's our bunker. We're bunked up, y'all. So again,
My
thanks to
bunk
Ricky
buddies.
Joe and the Cordovas. Fucking love you guys. Thank you. We have a home. I would show you guys around, but I don't want to give it up yet. You know what I'm saying? So.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Toby, get over there so you can turn it off. He's got to turn the live. We're going to kind of just like, and do some duh-duhs and nuh-nuhs and pork beans and until he like hits stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. Cheers.
Cheers. Have a
Whoa.
drink. Have a drink. If you're at home watching,
Yeah, cheers. I got
take a
Respect
shot.
each other.
Tins. I know you got
Yeah.
some. Yeah. What?